All right, cool. So we're gonna go through a exercise called a dead bug, but there's a lot of prerequisites to kind of what you need to understand about what's happening with a dead bug first, how to engage the core, really how to breathe actually through this process. So that's what we're gonna go through here right now. And this is a fundamental process that you kind of have to understand for just creating any kind of legit long-standing core stability in your lower back. So I'm gonna use this towel. I'm gonna use this towel as a kind of like a tactile stimulus. And I'm gonna put it right here underneath my lower back, kind of right where my belt would be. So I'm gonna roll it up so I can feel it there. I'm gonna sit down just like this. And now I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna breathe. Now I'm gonna take JD through this here in a second so you can kind of understand where he should be feeling certain things. But I can feel that towel behind me. I'm just gonna breathe. I'm gonna try to diaphragmatically breathe or just take big belly breaths. And I'm trying not to breathe with my chest as much as I am trying to breathe with my stomach. So when I inhale, you should see my belly come out. When I exhale, my belly will slowly sink back in. So inhale, and then exhale, belly sinks back in. So now, what I want to think about here is when I inhale, belly comes out. When I exhale, I'm gonna put a little bit of pressure into that towel with my back. So when I exhale, inhale, exhale, I'm putting pressure into that towel with my back. I'm doing that with some of my important core musculature. So that's how we want to create a foundation for what we're supposed to be feeling in this exercise, okay? So now, if I bring my legs up like this, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna breathe in, then I'm gonna exhale. I'm pushing into that towel. Good, breathe in, breathe out, exhale, push into the towel. So that's the foundation to a dead bug type exercise, or a number of different exercises when you're on your back like this. That's what we want to be using primarily. We want to get our diaphragm involved, get our transverse abdominis involved, and not just be using it as kind of like a superficial rectus abdominis exercise, but using it as a deep core stabilization promotion exercise. So I'm going to go into the dead bug, but I'm just going to start with both arms, both legs. I'm not moving anything yet, right? People want to jump to doing all kinds of stuff here, and all I'm doing is I'm trying to focus on what's happening with my core and my breathing. So now, I'm gonna take one arm and one leg at a time. So I'm moving the arms and the leg with the inhale, and then on the exhale, I'm trying to contract the core and bring everything back. So now we're using this kind of like a traditional ab exercise, but also using the core in a way that's gonna be way more beneficial long-term, and you're gonna get way more out of the exercise. All right, so we got JD here. I'm gonna take him through what I just did there, or take him through the dead bug exercise, really just the breathing portion of it. So we can kind of get his mechanics kind of honed in so he understands what he should be feeling throughout the entire exercise. So what I'm gonna have him do is just bring his knees up. Actually, you know what? Just let him sit right there for now. I'm gonna have him put one hand on his chest and one hand on his stomach. And I want him to just take some deep breaths. And I want him to try to breathe with his belly. I want him to try to take diaphragmatic breaths. So I want him to minimize the movement here, maximize the movement here, but everything's gonna move a little bit. You can't really breathe with one area and not the other. So I want him to just take nice deep breaths. Feel his belly coming out when he inhales. Feel his belly slowly sinking back down when he exhales. Good, now once he gets that, I'm gonna take this towel, we're gonna roll it up, and we're gonna put it behind his lower back. But he also could use his hand underneath his lower back like that too. But this just helps because we're gonna do the dead bug where the arm's moving. So this will give him something to feel for what we want him to feel in a little bit. It's like a tactile stimulus. So yep, we're just gonna sit it right there and he'll lay right back on it. Should be about where like a belt would be, I guess. Maybe slightly above or below, doesn't matter. So now with that, I want him to take a big breath in with his belly. And when he exhales, he's gonna let that belly fall down, but then he's gonna push his back into that towel a little bit. Good. And then he can just relax after a couple second hold. Just keep doing a few more of those so you get the hang of it. Those are the core muscles that he should be activating to kind of best brace his core and use some of those deep core stabilization muscles
to actually get the most out of this exercise. So, good. You'll see how his pelvis naturally tilts a little bit too. It's because he's using a little bit more of that deep intrinsic core musculature. Good, nice. Cool, so now I'm gonna have him bring his legs up and he's just gonna keep doing the same thing. So if you weren't as conditioned and whatnot, you could let your legs rest on something here, but he's okay, so he's just gonna sit here and do the same thing. Just breathe and exhale and push into that towel. And every time he pushes into that towel, it's a little bit of like almost like a crunch type of repetition. Like he's feeling that a little bit. It's working a little bit of the musculature. You can see everything moving. He's trembling a little bit. Not too bad though. Okay, now I'm gonna have him bring his arms straight up like this. And he's just gonna keep doing what he was doing. So as he inhales and then as he exhales, he's just pushing into that towel right through there. Good. So he's doing it really well. Sometimes it takes a while to get the hang of this. It's not uncommon for it to be really confusing in the beginning. Good. So now he can see now if he was to move his arms, he doesn't have to do it right yet, but if he was to move his arms and legs as he inhales, and then he can focus on bringing his arms and everything back together as he exhales and pushing into that towel at the same time. I know it's a lot of moving parts, it's a lot of stuff, so he might kind of trip up a little bit, and that's fine. It's a learning curve here. This is a really important process for understanding how to best utilize your core and get more out of just your core work that you're already doing with your own training and whatnot. All right, so now we're gonna try it. So he's gonna inhale and he's gonna drop his leg and his arm. And then he's gonna exhale and bring them back together. And then he's gonna push his belly button towards, yeah, that's perfect, towards that towel. Good. Now we're gonna alternate. He's gonna do this one. Inhale, and then exhale, bring them back together and push your back into the towel. Good. Let's go one more. Let's go inhale. Good. And then exhale, bring them back together, push into the towel. Beautiful. So that's a true dead bug right there. That's what you want to be feeling. Eventually, you'll be able to do that without the towel. You can pull the towel right out. So now he's nailing it. Let's go a couple more reps real quick. Awesome. Let's just do one more on this side. Perfect. Good, 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 good. Push hard right here. Yeah, good, good, good. That's it.